characters woke in a hospital, the Bergen, in the last episode, the first episode of this season. The Bergen Institute for the Mentally Ill and Criminally Insane, confused and disoriented, blank. At lunch, Sasha thought there was something about a handsome man that he couldn't quite place, and the handsome man didn't seem to leave him alone because the handsome man was Harvey Winston, who knows a little more than Sasha does. A little. Harvey is confused, apparently, and lost, wants to behave, no, confused and lost about where he is for sure, and wants to behave, wants to get out, wants to remember stuff. He described him as a punk guy. I don't know if that's exactly what I saw on the screen, but he found Sasha and thinks that there's some connection there, and that there is. There were pizza rolls involved. Someone raised a ruckus in the cafeteria, but Harvey slipped out amidst it all, tried to get some more information from the friend, who apparently seemed pretty shy. Joel hasn't lost any of her fire and noticed that Dr. McFadden already seemed well aware of her violent nature, or had at least been warned about it. Her after-lunch activities consisted of punching Dylan in the nose. Blythe was somber regarding her particular situation, resigning to what lay ahead, but when that ended up being tingly and a pending physical assault, she found her fire, or hunger, maybe that might be the better word for it, as she destroyed Tingley out of sight, out of mind. Jerry, having been asked about his time on the NYPD, suddenly had a bit of a flashback due to his PTSD of chasing a perp, as the cops call them, shooting him, the perp, and then that shot perp turned around and their chest turned into an eye. Having already had his addiction itch triggered early in the session, he soon found his way to somebody who had some stuff, and then ultimately wound up in red light and has been snorting cocaine ever since. So I think that's everybody where they were left. And now, Blythe, you're going to have to duck down because you're cut off. There we go. I can get you there. You adjusted or something. That's okay. I just had my head turned, so I didn't see it happening. I'm a little discombobulated. And we're going to actually start with Jerry in red light. And Jerry, you have, and at this point, unknown amount of time on your drug binge, whatever it is, there in red light. And I need you to roll for nightmares, please. I believe that's a +0. Everybody, if you go to your macros, I'm talking to the players, your macros tab, which are the 3 lines, 3 dots up at the top of the chat box. And if you click that, you should see a question that says show macro quick bar. And if you click that, you'll see some quick rolls, which don't give a fancy KULT card or anything like that, but they will give you a roll on the fly if you are fumbling with your character sheet or anything. Otherwise, this is your nightmares. I think it's probably a +0. I don't actually have your. That's the next in the mission here.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
So yeah, if you go to page 2 on your character sheet.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm thinking out loud about something else. Go to page 1 on your character sheet, and it would be you could just do a 0. But down at the very bottom of the screen in Roll20, down beneath the names, well, I have the names at the bottom of the screen. You can move the names around. But if you have the macro bar thing picked, then it's got a 0 roll down there at the bottom that you can choose.
So the universe is getting back at me for the ninja fight Morgan had
Right.
because my streak continues with a 6, which
Now,
is not better than
if you want to see your nightmares, what it is, go to your bio and info and click the purple nightmares link, and it'll pop the card up for you. And you can actually read it. Because I don't have you guys on the move page, which I'll do that right now. So with the 9, well, you tell me. You have a nightmare. What? You can have a nightmare about anything. Don't worry about the memory restriction in regards to the nightmare. You're going to be trapped in it for a little bit. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking. They can't see me. You're going to be trapped in it for, well, for a moment.
so I go from plugging a nose, headed down for another rail line, and then all of a sudden I feel just wind blowing on my face as I realize that there's no longer a toaster sized pile of blow in front of me. And I'm in the alleys again.
And you're where?
In the alleys, the New York alleyways. That's where I am again.
Let me ask you this. When are these the dark alleys, like when you look up there's no end, or is it just a New York you know, crime infested alleyway?
Because Jerry spent so much time being trapped in the endless maze of New York alleys, I'd say the one that never ends.
How does that make you feel?
Terrified. Absolutely terrified.
Roll me a keep it together then.
Fuck this place.
You would have to do that on a 10 to 14.
So keep it together.
Yeah. Naturally. That's why I was waiting to see how you responded a little bit.
Holy Lord, 18. From the pitfalls of despair to high.
Yeah. Nice.
High Hrothgard.
Right. So in the alleyway, what do? You're standing there. You were just snorting a line of coke, and now now you're in an alley.
I immediately look for anything on my person, just instinctively for a gun. Probably don't have one.
You do have a gun.
I have a gun. Excellent. Yes. That's pull that out as soon as I can, and I just kind of slowly start making my way, checking each cross section carefully. It's like I'm sweeping a room, a meth room, or a meth house.
In the alley?
Well, just being very careful.
Right.
Like there's someone, just around the corner. Because they're not.
It seems pretty barren. There's dumpsters, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of loose trash lying around. There's certainly no cardboard boxes or plastic or paper or anything like that. There are a couple of pallets that are leaning against a wall or a dumpster in there. So there's a little bit of stuff, but like in a block's length, you might see 2 dumpsters on either side along the way. Are you laughing at me? Am I doing something? Or are you laughing about something
No,
in
they're
chat?
laughing at me. It's
Okay.
okay. Continue.
Meth room.
Meth room. Oh, because he knows what
Yep.
I didn't flinch. What are you hoping to find out of curiosity?
Um, I'm hoping to find nothing, or maybe an exit, or first instinct is I hope there's no one there around the corner waiting with a with a gun or a pipe,
Right.
or is just a flesh-eating monster. That's what I'm really hoping isn't there, right?
I think this would be a good time for you to do investigate. And you do have that would be a loose interpretation of the advantage.
Oh God, this is so good. 4.
A 4.
4.
Did the let me? Of course, my dogs are going crazy. Okay, good. We got the Roll20 window up so they can see the rolls. That was another thing that they liked.
Oh, excellent.
So
everyone can see my failure.
yeah, it popped in my head last week too because you guys the rolls and stuff. Anyhow, what was the roll on the? Oh, investigate was a 4. Okay, that doesn't do
Was
a
a
whole lot.
4.
The I was stalling anyways while I was deciding what to do with you because this was not a planned occurrence. I didn't think you would absolutely fail on the nightmare roll, and I was going to have to trap you. I guess I should have thought about that. But I was thinking about some other things.
My luck from Brian has carried.
Right. So, in the alleyway, as you are creeping down it, hoping to find an exit to get back, you are actually a little bit confused, Jerry, because in the alleyway, you are Jerry from New York, Detective Sasso. You are who you have always been. You know about weird shit. You know about bad stuff, but you do not know that you are in a hospital. Except that feeling is creeping into you. That you suddenly think that not only do you need to find an escape, that your escape may actually be a different escape, if that makes sense. And so your search is going to become a slightly growing desperate, more and more desperate as time moves on. And at some point, you're going to start to grow to a panic, and you're going to have to try to find your way out because there is no exit. This alleyway that has no end to the top has no exit. You might get lucky enough to find something, but then after a while, you're going to start checking doors. You're not going to find one that opens. They will all seem to be locked. Some of them you will even know that they're fake. You walk in, it'll be a door and a handle, but there's no cut. There's no opening. It's just a door on a flat wall. When you get to your breaking point, however long this takes, I'll ask you so you can think about it for a second about how long it would take for me to break Jerry. I'm not going to put everybody through the endless days because I'm sure Street Jerry, Detective Jerry Sasso is a rather stout individual. Could probably take quite a bit. He spent years in there before. So rather than go through the years and having spent years in there before, I could probably get him less than that. But still, you come to a breaking point to where you are desperate, where you are crying, where you are on your knees begging to God, whatever it is, you're about ready to give it up. Don't make me do years and years of this again. Is when you see the feet of a man standing in front of you as you are down on the ground, sobbing into this paved alleyway, which is rife with puddles, even though it never rains.
As soon as he notices feet, I freeze completely, and I slowly put my hands on just to my side and kind of stand back up while still kneeling, essentially. And I just mentally check into where my gun is located on my body. And then I see who it is. Look up.
He is. Oh, hang on. I can't show this to everybody. Although they're going to hear it and they're going to know anyways, because you'll ask. So I might as well see how I sort things out in my head in real time. He's a man in a suit. Looks kind of like a churchy type guy. He's got glasses on. You can't see his eyeballs, even though it's too dark in here for shaded sunglasses, certainly mirrored ones. Although they're not really mirrored, you don't see your reflection off of him. You just don't see his eyeballs, nor a hole. You don't see anything beyond them. And he says, "Looks like you need some help, friend. I can do that."
It certainly appears that way. Who are you?
My name's Rupert. Rupert Stillwater.
Stillwater. It's a unique name. How exactly can you help me?
Well, I can get you out of here. Are the details and particulars important? I'm just curious that would be the first question you ask.
You know what? You're right. I should just willingly let someone help me who may or may not have an agenda behind helping me. Right?
I see you're not ready to go yet. That's fine. I understand.
You know what? Whoa.
I mean,
That's
you.
not what I was saying. I apologize. I can be a snarky asshole. I'm from New York.
I know lots of snarky assholes. It's okay. I'm not going to do anything terrible, and of course I have some motives. But I revert to my first question. Do you care what my motives are? As long as you're unharmed at the end of it, right? I haven't misjudged you, have I?
I couldn't tell you. We all make judgments, and we all usually stick by those judgments. But
it's these weak moments in people's lives that offer up opportunities for someone like me to come along and make some headway in my affairs. Sometimes the let's say contractee is harmed. It does happen, but that all sort of depends on who they do business with. Just like in your life, all depends on who you do business with. One person No problem at all. Same task, another person, completely different outcome. Am I making sense?
Perfectly.
You don't have anything to worry about that with me. My intent is actually to keep you alive. You are important to me in other ways. So, are you ready to go? Unfortunately, it would be back to the Bergen.
At this point, anything's better than these fucking alleys.
Thought you might think that. Good. Then I'm going to need something from you. And right now, all that is a promise that you are a man of your word, and that when I am able to work out the exact specifics that I need, that I will get them to you. And when I do, if there's not something totally that needs to be answered for you right away, Detective Sasso, that you'll take care of it for me.
Well, Mr. Stillwater,
Yes.
I've done a lot more for a lot less. And he sticks out his hand.
I did pick the right man. And he shakes it. And when you grip his hand, you awaken back at the Bergen. You're no longer in the alleyways. Your condition physically is back to normal. It had been enough time to have changed, lost weight, grown some facial hair, and I would imagine it would take him that long. If that was the first question he asked, he might have gone another day or two. Then all of that has gone back to normal, and you are actually just moments after wherever you were before you left. Where were you before you left? I had noted that you had gone, but then I forgot to. Oh, yeah, you'd walked up to the table. It was in the lunchroom. Okay, because the other guy was there. No problem. And now we're going to switch scenes now that we've got Jerry back. And we're going to go to our other out of pocket character, which is Blythe, who I believe was ripping Tingley to pieces with a butcher behind her, because that's what I call them, butchers. You've run into them a couple of times. Um, Behind you, want to know how many buckets of blood you have for the butcher with your wonderful little mess there in front. So, how many buckets of blood?
Oh, what?
How many buckets of
Blood?
blood?
Buckets? Oh God. And she just kind of looks down at her hands and sees what she's done. And they're just covered in this man's blood. Uh, a lot. A lot of blood. I don't know how I did this.
Roll plus soul for me, Blythe.
Hold, please. Oh,
Let's see through the illusion.
yes. I was not on my sheet, but I got a 19.
It's down at the bottom of your character sheet, page 1.
Yeah,
Okay. You got a what? Oh, 19.
a 19.
I forget I have this out and popped up now. Oh, sweet. You wish it away. You blink, you don't know what to do, you say what you say, and he goes away. It's a sort of an opposite effect to see through the illusion because you were already basically in the illusion. But as you weren't prepared to take that on at that moment with your boink boink reaction, your powers took you home and a good roll. So you're back. You're bloody. Joel, you had been paying attention to Blythe. You are also there with the doctor. I'm going to get you with Blythe, but this is all kind of sort of happening at the same time. And you were actually had just triggered a repressed memory when the doctor started talking about doctor and mumbling about the things that he was mumbling about and the stuff that he saw. I don't know how much of that he actually mumbled, but he did mumble about being a doctor. And there was something about him using that word and that voice together that triggered this memory for you. So what's your memory about? Did you think about that? And if you have a subject, I can do it. But if you have a memory that you would like to hash, or one that we don't even know about, maybe that Joel has.
Yeah, he's talking to you, Joel.
Sorry, back up. What? I got distracted by the cat.
So-
Mummy.
After it's kind of all happened at the same time as when Blythe has her event. When that's happening, you punched Dylan, right? The doctor was there. The doctor was mumbling about being a doctor, and his voice specifically, saying the word doctor triggered a repressed memory. What was the memory?
So there was a time when my daddy-o wore a doctor's lab coat. And I just so happened to walk into his office while he was having a lovely phone conversation that wasn't so lovely. He was mad and was actually yelling, which is not something he does very often.
What was he yelling about?
Something about how, you can't do this and that's not humane and these aren't, just lab rats, something to that effect. Something about messing with things you don't know anything about. I wasn't that old and it all just was sounding like scientific mumbo jumbo.
Right. What did you think it meant?
Not good, that's for sure. Something that I'm supposed to be maybe figuring out. It seems really fuzzy. And I feel like I need a piece of paper to write all of this shit down because for some reason it's really overwhelming. I've got this sense of like dread and I don't know. It's weird.
We'll keep it together.
$15.
You hadn't remembered your father before you had this memory either. Was this something that you had told the doctor?
I said probably some not so nice words in between all of it, but I'd mentioned probably something.
Make another roll for me, just a +0. Do you have the macro bar thing?
Yes.
Just out of curiosity. Okay.
Yes.
All right. It may be because was it Krista that had a question about that, or I think it might. You would use an apple, don't you? I don't know how
Mhm.
20 looks on an apple,
Yeah.
so it may be different from your
I
point
imagine
of
it looks
view.
about the same. I don't know.
That just occurred to me. Okay, so yeah, roll a plus 0, 14. Okay.
Yep.
This memory with your dad awakens your oath of revenge disadvantage. While you thought that previously squashed, you now realize and are remembering all of the details of that. And I'm going to explain a little bit more on that because that will then brush up against your memories of the others. But you remember all of the events with the twins, and I'm talking about the murdering twins. Although they don't really look like twins, I call them twins.
Mhm.
And now you realize that some of those memories are starting to come back to you, that you've seen them here at the Bergen. You don't know when or why or anything, but you think you've seen them here. You see their faces, plain, ugly, unpainted, in your mind's eye. And that also brushes those other memories because there were other people in some of those scenes and you recognize them too, but you don't know who the fuck they are. But they're here. You've seen them too. And now you have a whole bunch of people who are here. They seemed friendly in comparison to the other two because it also evokes the same emotions. And when all of that starts to come in through, luckily you did a really good keep it together roll because when you look up in confusion about this whole thing, I'm creeping up on my mic again. Is when you look up and Blythe has just appeared basically from her situation in the back room or around the corner. They didn't quite make it to the back room. Bloody, like completely covered in blood. At the moment, there's no authority figures in the area. But as we all know, that's going to quickly change. So what do you do? And Blythe, you're in the scene as well.
Like, am I wearing any form of like one of those cardigans like over my little outfit?
I will give you a white sweatshirt
Dope.
that you
So
can have with your t-shirt.
I immediately rip that off of my body. Walk/run over. I'm not trying to cause a scene, but this is a little fucking much. And I just stare at her, very quickly grab both of her hands and put them down to shove the sweatshirt over her head.
What?
Yeah.
What is? I don't.
Why are you covered in blood?
Well, why am I covered in blood?
Why are you covered in blood?
And she just like looks down at her hands again.
Shit. Is there like a bathroom or anything that we can go into?
That's a good question. Why don't you roll to observe the situation?
Boop, 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 boop.
Success.
15.
Nice. So you actually, what was the first question? A way out?
Yeah, basically. Is there like a bathroom or a broom closet, something private?
There is both. There's a closet that you know that they keep a mop and stuff in, so probably a supply closet, janitor's closet type thing. And you know that just right around the corner there is also a restroom facility for you to use. That's not that far away, but it's right around the corner. It's not right in the room, but it's kind of, you know, like school, like you're in like a common
Yep.
area and you know that right down this hallway is another one. So it's practically in the same room. Do you have a second question? Because
Does
I have a notice for you if you don't. But let me hear your question first.
does the broom closet have like a sink in it? Would I know that?
If it's got a mop bucket in there, it probably does.
Okay, like one of those little utility sinks.
Yeah. I will say
Dope.
you can feel confident in the sink.
Okay, dope. I immediately grab Blythe's bloody ass hands and start just purposefully, but yet discreetly marching her towards this broom closet, and I'm just muttering, "Don't fucking say a thing. Just pretend everything's normal. Shut up. Shut
What
up. Don't
did
even."
you? I. Why are you helping me?
You're covered in blood, and we're in a mental institute, and I can already tell that that's not your blood. So let's go.
Okay. Okay.
And I just try to shove you in the closet as fast as possible.
Yeah, I'm just like shell shocked almost, like I'm just numb and going through the motions. So I'll probably stumble a little bit and just my hands are just out. So much blood.
Grab, 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 run, run, run.
The reason you got to ask the questions in your 15, the reason you haven't had any issues right now is because do you remember who was on duty? Who was
Tingly.
supposed to be
Tingly.
watching you all? Right. Tingly is
I
is missing.
murdered him.
Tingly.
Right. You know, I was letting Erica know that was part of your observation because I'm not going to count that other one as a question. That was but you're not a TTRP pro like some of the players I have, so
No.
you wouldn't have thought to ask. Anyhow,
No.
that's that's the reason why this moment that you have. So
Okay.
where did you drugging her into the closet?
Yeah,
too,
we're
or-
headed
okay.
for the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
We're
her
in the
hands
closet.
trying to
No problem,
cover
yeah.
the blood with my own and just dragging her along to this closet.
Harvey, you are coming back from having been talking to Sasha and see Joel and a bloody Blythe. Well, she's not as bloody now, but you can see someone has draped a sweatshirt over her, but her arms are still inside the sweatshirt. She hasn't got her arms through the sleeves. And there's like, because they're wearing whites, there's blood everywhere but the sweatshirt. She tore this man to pieces. She's bloody from head to toe. And everybody who's in the common area are all sitting there with their jaws hanging open, silently watching her drag Blythe around the corner, or right around just this little corner thingy, into the janitor's closet. What do you do?
I quietly slip in with the pizza rolls that I'm still holding in my hands. I don't know. I dropped half of them.
Spilled a few.
And kind of stare over with my jaw dropped with everybody else.
Uh,
I want to say, like, I want to be on my best behavior, so I don't really want to get mixed up in this.
That's fine.
So I'll just go back and sit down and eat my pizza rolls.
This is also the same scene that Dr. Kennedy and Jerry are in as well, because Jerry's still dealing with Dylan. But at this point, Dylan's kind of all right. He was, he got punched in the nose, but there's only so much you can do for it. And that's dealt with rather easily. Jerry just comes back pretty much at this moment as well. If you take the time to look, you'll see all the same stuff that Harvey Winston just did, and you'll see that something is up. So yeah, what's everybody gonna do?
Curtis, I have
Yes.
a question.
Yeah.
So since we're are we all going through like some type of amnesia type? Like we don't really know who these people are, but we kind of do.
I've been giving bits of them back to some of you as we've gone
Okay.
along, but unless I have told you that you remember a little bit about this one particular person, then you don't know these people.
Great. So that leads me to my next question,
Yeah.
which is when I meet a person,
Mhm.
I have a very specific role that we have to do for one of my disadvantages. And technically, this is
So
like
would that
meeting a
technically
person
be
all
re-meeting people?
over again, right?
Wait. Wait, I already saw you though
No,
beforehand.
Right.
But like, do you know me? Like, have we been like this? You know?
Well, you don't get that disadvantage, Blythe,
I don't?
in this particular situation. No, because one, you don't give it any power, and
Okay.
and two, in reality, she knows you. She's seen you before. Her brain has laid eyes upon you and is triggered. Although she may not recall that information, it is still there.
Okay. That's
And
fair.
so in this particular instance, unbeknownst to anybody, nobody falls victim to any particular supernatural forces.
Cool. Love that. All right. Let's go in the closet.
That needs to rest.
Yeah, I don't recognize you guys, so I want to be good. I'm gonna go sit down and just eat my pizza rolls.
Are you thinking about Sasha still?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I haven't
you-
had any memories at all.
So you're right.
He's at the very top of my mind.
Why don't you make a repressed memory roll for me then?
Okay. Is that just a roll plus 0?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. On your bio, there's a link in that up there. You can click to see the card. If you
13.
have questions.
Okay.
13. All right. You got to make me a keep it together roll. And the reason you need to keep it together, because as you sit down, you're thinking about Sasha and you're starting to have like every minute or two, you'll have, wait a minute, you'll have another memory of the time that you were at the mall together, and it'll just be you and him standing in front of a Hot Topic, and you have no reference to put it, to put it in context. But
Fuck you with a hot topic.
you'll have these.
There's no
Whatever.
hot topic in 90.
It was something that popped into my head. A Jeans West, and you have
We shop at
this.
Goodwill. We're poor.
Yeah, Sasha ain't fucking hot topic.
Standing outside
No.
of the Goodwill. We're in the
Topic was
back of the
founded-
Goodwill when people make the donations, like pawing through the bags before they put them on the racks.
Hot
Nice.
Topic was founded in 1988,
So-
so there could have been a Hot Topic.
There you go. There you go.
When we were young.
The place is unimportant. The point is that you have a lot of these sorts of memories, wherever they might be. It's more than one particular place. It basically goes in priority from the places that you spent the most time together to the least, is how that recollection will start to happen. But much like the other was having, you're also getting bits and pieces of other people in these visions, in these memories, and you know who Blythe is. And in this moment, you not only know who she is, you know that the last time you saw her, she was dead. You don't remember your other event in the asylum from 72. And I have a reason for that. And if you stumble upon the right stuff, you guys will get that information. But at this moment, it's not there. And that's you have it, this memory. You also, that sense of knowing Sasha and him being more than some punk childhood friend grows by the moment. You are making rapid progression. Nobody else is. Just FYI. Sorry.
I'm suddenly not very hungry anymore, and I just kind of push my pizza rolls away and sit there with my head in my hands and think about this.
Kennedy, what are you doing?
Having dealt with the bloodied nose of the other young man in the room, as I continue to lick myself, if I see Miss Blythe, or whomever this young lady is, covered in blood, I would have to assist. It would probably take me some time, given my advanced age, to make it to the broom closet, though.
Make me an act under pressure roll. This could be funny. You're seeing him
An
slip into
11.
the closet. Yeah, you're headed after him, and you get there right as the door closes, like clock, and you can hear them latch the lock on the inside because for some reason this room has a lock on the inside of it. I don't know why they would lock it. Yeah, it's a little twisty key lock. You don't need a key on the inside, but you do on the outside, and locks just as you get to the door.
And I'll knock lightly.
How polite.
Um, I beg pardon. Perhaps I might be of assistance.
You hear very soft from Joel. Is that the old crotchety man that hangs out over there in the corner?
I think so. He doesn't. I don't usually talk to him. I've never actually heard him talk.
Do we open
Do
the
we?
Probably.
Do we let him in?
Well, he's probably drawing a scene, so yeah, sure. And Joel just like rips open the door, and I yank the old man in, close it behind him, and lock it again.
Yeah, that appears to be quite a large amount of blood. Are you injured, young lady?
And she's just like staring at him wide-eyed, cause like, man, close proximity just killed one.
Joel just kind of watch it. I just watch you two back and forth for a second, seeing the uncertainty on Bly's face and looking at Ernie, and just finally just reach over and turn on the little utility sink and kind of tug the back of the sweatshirt that I've stuck Bly in.
As soon as you turn on the water, I just blurt out, "It was tingly."
I don't know that I've ever heard an open wound called tingly before, but I suppose that's not outside the realm of possibility.
No. I think she means that she well, do you want to walk us through what you did to Mr. Tingley, or you want to just get cleaned up?
The orderly. Oh,
It was so much blood. How many buckets of blood? Yeah.
Right, okay. And Joel just like pulls up the sweater,
give
tosses
me
it
a
to the
moment.
side.
What size buckets are we talking about? The average human body has so that much blood in it. And
I
are
want
we
both of
talking about
what the
5-gallon
fuck?
buckets or
How
a
many
smaller
buckets?
size?
What the fuck is
I-
wrong with you?
I want both of you to make a roll to see through the illusion for me, please. Sasha, what are you doing right now?
Me and Erica?
Whoever said buckets of blood, that would be
I did.
you and Kennedy.
Right.
I was going back to my room.
Okay.
And do I have a journal available to me? Pencil?
You do.
I'll begin writing in the journal.
What do you write about? Generally.
Am I still tattooed and all of those things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because from elbow to wrist and then wrist to elbow across his forearms, it reads, "Must not sleep, must warn others." And he just, line after line, scratches that into the paper. Must not sleep. Must warn others. Must not sleep. Must warn others. Must not sleep. Must warn others. And that's all you can hear is just the scratching of that pencil on the paper. And when the lead gets too short, he just kind of gnaws the end of the pencil enough to continue, and then gnaws the end of the pencil.
That is definitely not better than a 9.
That's
No,
9
that is
upside
that-
down
that
right
is
there.
really
That's
no,
what
that
that
is.
is.
People.
Hassle.
Hassle.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta hassle your asshole.
Oh God.
Hey, that reminds me of an ex. Sasha, I
I'm dead.
have decided I would like for you to combine those two since the Keep It Together was in effect of your repressed memories. And since I was going to have you guys do the narrative on the fails, basically. What would be a memory that Sasha would have that would cause you to fail a Keep It Together roll? And, well, we all know what that's going to do to Sasha. So what might that be?
Sasha is standing just on the inside of a crowd of people and staring out at Harvey in the center of the room under a spotlight. And Harvey has his hands raised and is screaming into the crowd. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Holding a gun, and puts the gun to his own head. Sasha tries to scream but can't, and is biting down so hard that he takes the end of his tongue off.
I think I remember that now. That actually happened in the game, didn't it?
That actually happened in the game. And as the
Right.
memory of the bite comes down, the pencil snaps in two in his hand. And he stands up and he's grabbing at his shirt. You know,
Right.
I'm confused as to where I am, and he's trying to recall, but he can't seem to recall anything else. It's just that memory, and the emotion is overwhelming him, and he runs out of the room and down the hallway and is yelling for Harvey.
Oh, well, you made that part easy. Yeah, you see also what's going on because that's a hall opposite basically from where the dorms are as you get back to that area. And yeah, you're yelling for Harvey. You know who Harvey is.
Like fully?
Yep. You don't know the others, but you know Harvey. There was something about that emotional, and you do lose your 2 stability, by the way. But as far as like game mechanics go, I'm going to take away broken, the disadvantage that you had in season 1. I do have a new disadvantage for you, which also triggered right then, but you were supposed to make a roll plus soul for me as well, weren't you? While you were writing, we just hadn't actually made it yet. All of this stuff is still happening. You're still running down the hall. I can work with it. But now I can't hear you. Are you muted?
It is a 14. Yes, I was muted.
Okay.
I apologize.
Oh, good. No,
When
I
I'm
just
clicking around, I try to mute myself so there's not a bunch of clicking.
had a little panic moment. A 14. Okay. Well, then that keeps it rather simple. However, it's more of a mental sort of thing. So basically, as you're running and doing your thing, you feel, because you know, by this point, Sasha, even after the amount of time that has passed, however, you still have this gap, that growth or that acceptance, because we all know as we get older, we learn to start seeing the things within ourselves, and you had started to come to terms with your emotional disadvantages. And for some reason, this is sort of a moment of clarity for you, but I'm going to give you some sort of oppressive sensation that's going to come across that. This is like a super person moment, you know, like a superhero moment when they just sort of feel that while they may have won this battle, they suddenly realize there's another one ahead of them that they don't know. And now I'm going to shut up. As you've walked into the scene, I think I have just about everybody there together. Jerry, you're there as well, watching all of this happen, as is everybody else. Authorities are pending rather shortly because it is like near time for them to herd you into group. The floor is yours.
Harvey, you're still sitting there with his hands covering his face. Sasha goes up and sits across the table from him.
I
Harvey.
peek out from my fingers and slowly drop my hands, and I just look confused and vulnerable. That's my my middle name.
That's right, Julius.
No, I like. You know what's funny? I just kind of remembered something that my. It doesn't matter.
No, tell me.
I don't know. I'm doing better. You know, I'm remembering things, and I just kind of remembered that my mom, my mom, I had a mom, and when she had me, you know, her pregnancy craving was a Caesar salad. So she named me Julius, but I think, you know, making my middle name Caesar would have been a little too on the nose. You know, that guy from history. I remembered him too, but I never I never liked it. I got made fun of a lot for being called Julie. Guys would call me Julie, and you I think you I think you beat them up for it once. I don't know, but my middle name's Harvey. I like that. I think that it suits me better.
Do you know where we
Hi.
are?
What?
Hi.
I mean, we're in some institution. We're here to get better. To
I don't think we're here to get better, but we are in some institution. Do you remember anything else?
some things. Yeah. I don't want to freak you out. I don't.
You're not going to freak me out. I know everything there is to know about you.
What? Okay, your turn. Then chair.
Yes, I did beat up somebody for calling you Julie at one point. You prefer waffles to pancakes.
Pockets. Yeah.
You hate cigarette smoke. You're really, really, really shitty drunk. You cry. You are one of the worst crying drunks I've ever fucking met in my life. And
That's not
I put up
fair.
with it, and I still love it, and I still love you. I know this is going to be a lot.
What happened?
I don't know.
Harvey, keep it together.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a lot all at once. And I will find this. Boo, 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 boo. 10. Slightly better than a 9.
Slightly.
It only has to be one more than a 9.
Yep. How does this make you feel? You lose 1 stability.
I feel like it's hard to put into words. Scared. I'm looking at this man and I have these feelings for this man, and I remember bits and pieces, but it's not enough bits and pieces for me to understand why I'm feeling this way. And why did I forget all of it? If I'm feeling this way about this man who's right in front of me, why can't I remember him?
Since Harvey doesn't have his knowledge of the veil and being on the other side of it, go ahead and he wouldn't think to try to roll to see through the illusion. So why don't you see if you can't see accidentally. Jerry, I'm just going to put you close to this. You can get in on it at the appropriate time. I'm assuming the girls in the closet are going to continue working on their situation, trying to clean blood and stuff. We'll get to that conversation here in just a second.
I was, just keeping an eye on the situation. I was going to run interference if anyone tried to get
Excellent.
into the door,
Right.
like another orderly or the doctor were walking that way. I'd run interference. Just play it cool.
Excellent. That's a good idea. With your role there, Harvey, you, excuse me, caught my tongue in my throat. You see Sasha for who he is. You remember Sasha with as much clarity as ever. The gap of time is still prevalent in all of your brains, but nobody's really gotten into that yet. I just want to make sure that that is still out there. However, there is a drawback to that that either something cinches you or that the illusion tears around you. You don't see a tear in the illusion, but you do have Sasha in front of you, and you both know each other for who you are. And you will just leave it at that for the moment. Carry on.
I just start crying.
All right.
I
Then
sit there and it's like almost instantaneous, and I just reach out for his hand.
this is
and
a
it's
problem.
lot.
Yeah, he takes your hand in both of his hands and he pulls you across the table and he tries to wipe one of your eyes a little bit and puts his forehead on your forehead and just whispers, "We're going to be okay."
Yeah, I think we will now. Yeah. How could I forget you?
You
Let's
didn't
cut-
do it.
Let's cut to the closet.
I say we gotta cut. There
Yeah,
needs
I
to
don't
be now
want
on
to
the
I don't want to
table.
break the scene, but like that's a perfect place to like chop it, and you guys have your moment of personal time, and we go back to see what's going on between Jerry's running interference now. Did you get in the closet yet? Are we still trying to negotiate that?
No,
No, he's in the
I
closet.
I
Okay.
drug him in the closet.
He's
Sorry.
in there with us.
Okay.
Yeah, last thing was you had Chris and I both, as we were talking about buckets of blood, roll.
Yes,
uh,
a
see
roll through the soul.
illusion,
See through the
which we
illusion.
both passed.
Yes,
And you both
we
passed it.
succeeded.
Okay. I see through the illusion. I never know which way to go on that, one way or the other. So I'll just say that you're safe at this moment, and you can keep going with your scene. Yeah, I was about to make some bad stuff happen, but successful rolls means no bad stuff. So carry on.
I'm just now trying to shove all of Bly's bloody body into this like sink and just clean her shit.
What?
So, in conclusion, roughly 1 to 1.5 buckets of blood in a human body, which I appear to see you would potentially be covered in about 1 to 1.5, potentially 2 buckets of blood if it was a rather large individual.
What the
which,
fuck is
Mr.
your
Tingle
problem, old
was.
man? What are you talking
What?
about? What is wrong with you?
She asked.
Just
What the
get it.
fuck?
Just get it off. Just get it off.
Okay, Jesus Christ, calm down, calm down. And I'm just like splashing water on your face and like trying to get it out of your hair and just like going to town cleaning you.
And she's just scrubbing her hands. Like the blood's gone, but she's still just fucking.
Okay, so you did something to Tingly. You may have unalived Tingly. What did you do to Tingly?
Oh, if Mr. Tingley lost this much blood, he is most certainly dead.
Do not make me
he-
regret letting you in here, old man.
I'm just
I thought she was injured. I came to help.
so tired. I just wanted a nap, and she just starts crying.
Oh fuck. Okay, what did this is gonna sound a little odd. Just stick with me here. What did he look like?
He like always like normal.
Okay. I still have my tattoos and stuff, right, too? Do I have both sleeves or do I have just the one?
You have everything.
Okay. I didn't hear that, but I'm going to.
Yeah, you have everything.
have both. So Joel like shoves up the sleeve on her right arm, and there's like a whole beautiful mountain scene, and at the very top there's two really nasty looking guys, and she just like points to it and goes, "He didn't look like this, did he? Like at all? Period."
Not tingly.
Okay. Well, you just probably murdered someone. That's fine. Okay, moving on. And Joel just starts like scrubbing you even harder and just moving on about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. She didn't
Yeah.
say.
Blythe does not mention the butcher.
Jerry,
Yet.
somebody's coming. It is Tingley. Yeah, he just popped up on Roll20.
So I see Tingley just walking.
Yeah, he's coming in like he's getting ready to round you guys up and take you to group.
Does he look like he's trying to get all of us, or specifically beelining it to the closet? Where
He's not beelining. No, you've got the long approach. You've positioned yourself to where you could see somebody coming from a distance to give yourself ample time to get the warning out. So yeah, now's the time to send your warning. So whatever warning you had planned, he's coming.
So
you don't know that he's dead, so that's
right.
meta.
It's not weird for me,
right?
So I just kind of like stand up and like maybe stretch a little bit, and slowly walk over to the door while Tingley is looking away and trying to get other people's attention, and I just knock 3 times on the door and whisper out the side of my mouth, "Hurry the fuck up."
Everyone's just knocking.
Joel just stares at Ernie.
There isn't a people. They have to knock.
Oh yes, of course. I'll
No. Wait.
And he's
wait,
already turned and opened the door.
Wait.
Yes.
Tingley's rounding everybody up. We're about to go to group. We need to get the fuck out. Whatever you're doing in there, I don't need to know what it is, but figure it out and end it. And then
Very
I walk
well,
away.
sir. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he'll close the door and lock it again and turn back. So apparently Mr. Tingley has not been murdered, as he is outside rounding everyone up for afternoon group.
Blythe just starts scrubbing her hands again.
So if you didn't murder Mr. Tingley, then where's all this blood coming from?
It was him. It was him. He was him. And she's just muttering, rambling. She's not making any fucking sense.
Have we gotten most of the
She's
blood off?
regressing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's pretty clean, but she's really wet.
Skin, yes. Pants and t-shirt, no. However, you can cover up the t-shirt with the sweatshirt, but her pants are like stark white pajama pants. So yeah.
You want to wear an extra set of pants today?
Who wears extra sets of pants?
Well, we are just down the hall from the dormitories. You could make a quick run for it, theoretically.
Before group?
It should only take a minute. Potentially.
Joel just starts pulling off her pants and like hands them to Blythe. She does not give a fuck. She's like,
what do you
we're in a fucking mental asylum. Who gives a shit?
You're just gonna take off your pants just like that?
I'm wearing fucking underwear. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm not naked. And then, oh my God. And then she's just like shoving the sweater over her head again and just like throwing the pants at her.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, if she were to walk out there not wearing pants, the orderly would be required to go and take her to put on pants before group.
That'll give you enough time to go put on actual clothes, because if the focus is on me, then you can get out of the blood.
But I already have your pants.
Your shirt still has blood on it underneath the hoodie, underneath the sweatshirt, dude.
So we ditched the shirt. I can just wear the sweatshirt, right?
That's fine.
Is it like a nudie or a hoodie?
A no
hood hoodie. A nudie.
Nudie. I'm assuming it's just a crew
neck sweatshirt. It's a pullover, yeah. You know, matching sweatpants, sweatshirt type situation, except no sweatpants. They're just like thin pajama pants.
Well, great. So I have clothes. Go
Alright,
find some
we're good.
clothes.
Let's fucking
Right.
go.
The one who we always had the most trouble keeping in clothes.
Right.
Honestly.
Okay. So
She's really lost it, you guys.
While you
She's
were
really just like totally is not herself.
gotcha.
Right then.
He's
So
clothed.
no actual injuries. Yes?
No.
Well, I mean, I definitely. Well, I don't know.
How do you come back covered in blood and not know?
Yeah,
That
I
seems like a
just
problem.
don't. I just don't know. God, it just it happened, and it was tingly. That dude's lying to us outside. It can't be right, right? It can't be right.
I gotta get out of this place. And Joel just walks right past both of you, opens up the door, and heads out. T-shirt and underwear, just doesn't even.
Yeah. Give me an act under pressure roll.
Who?
Joel.
I'm apparently not very cool.
Oh no.
A failure on act under pressure. What's your score? What is that? Coolness?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it just occurred to me that right when you were rolling that the better decision might have been to have you try to persuade somebody, as this is sort of that sort of thing. But that's all right. Tingley sees you immediately and kind of like just doesn't say anything for about 3 beats. And then as he just kind of stares at you and processes what he's looking at, and then he gives you a scowl and sort of looks through you, past you in a way. But he suddenly lost his focus of you. And he says, "Go get your clothes on. It's time for group." And starts walking towards the closet door.
Is Jerry still standing there?
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere. He was just kind of, I guess, waiting to see what was going to happen.
With
So,
him?
yeah. I mean,
So if Tingley is headed for the door,
right.
are we still in the like cafeteria? Where exactly?
A common room. Yeah, just right off the
Common room.
cafeteria. Yeah.
Okay, I
Joel
Gra-
is pointing at his back,
I
like, get him.
quickly grab the remote to. I assume there's a TV.
Sure.
There's a TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I grab a remote and throw it at Tingley, trying not to hit him, but like grab his attention. But if it hits him,
Right. Make an act under pressure roll. Joel, what do you do?
I was just pointing basically at like Jerry to get Tingley, like, just stop him, fucking stop him. Shit.
Does anybody else
no.
have a reaction to this particular situation?
No, we're making out.
Okay.
Yeah,
just
we're in our
wanna-
own world.
Is there
wanna
like
hide in
Pizza
the
rolls have been
closet.
passed off the table.
is there another is like Dylan still hanging around with a like broken nose or something?
There's a crowd of people outside the door. They all watched you go in. They're all watching this happen. It's a show to them. They all know. They're not saying anything because they're enjoying it. It's entertainment. Half of them are criminals.
I don't know who the fuck the rest of these people are. I just know who
Yeah,
you are
they
and
don't.
how much I love you.
Some of
we're
them,
making out.
some of them are like,
I like to imagine it, all this chaos, and then we're just like on a table.
yeah, that
just
w-
mac it.
weird
Going
shit
hard.
happens at the Bergen.
I just I turn around in like a panic, like trying to think of anything to do to get Tingley to just stop what he's doing. and I see Harvey and Sasha, who I don't know from Adam. I don't know who the fuck these two dudes are. And I just scream, "There's two dudes making out!"
This moment, no one cares about two dudes making out when
Roll.
I'm sure I'm the same blind.
Let's see. Let's
Two
see.
people,
Oh my God, this is
two people
chaos.
stare at the two men making out.
Yeah, Blythe, what did you say? You said something, but it got cut out. I didn't hear it. So,
Oh, I
well,
think I'm just hiding in the closet.
Doc, are you staying in there with her? Are you trying to convince her to come out, or what is your plan regarding? You're gonna have to come out of the closet at some point, right?
Well,
And you have clean clothes now, so
yeah, but there's so many people, and there's fake. I'm gonna call him Fingly.
yeah. But
from
you weren't
now
paying
on.
you weren't paying attention to any of that going on.
So like, Blythe, what are you literally doing? Like, did you like back into a corner? Are you hiding? What's going on?
Yeah. I probably backed into a corner, fell butt
Okay.
first into a mop bucket.
Okay.
Something
So
stupid.
I'll walk over and just kind of bend down a little bit so you can hear all of the creaking and crackling of his 90-some-year-old bones.
Disgusting.
Miss, what was your name again?
Blythe.
Blythe. Miss Blythe, we are undoubtedly about to be discovered in this room together, just the pair of us. Now, the other lady just left, and I'm assuming whomever is out there, whether it actually be Mr. Tingley or not, will almost certainly have taken notice. So, in all likelihood, he is on his way at this very moment to open that door. He will, of course, find us both in here together. My recommendation would be to scream very loudly and claim that I was trying to assault you or something.
Dr. Kennedy, does this conversation feel in any way familiar to you at all? In semblance to
so.
other conversations you might have had in the past? Go ahead and make me a repressed memory roll, please, +0. Because that's all I could think about the whole time you were talking. It was like, oh, here he is again, trying to survive and getting the next thing done.
That's an 8.
And you do have a memory of saying this. And I'm trying to think of a hard move on this one. I tell you what, I'm going to let you have a memory, but what's the... No, that's a cop out. Take 2 stability away. Take care of that business first.
Fuck. Sorry, Dr. K.
And this is when so here comes a big mind fuck for everybody, so just hang on. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of questions as soon as I say this. Tingley is inside the closet with you both. You feel what is inevitably the tap of one of those little black flick sticks. You know, one of those, I don't know what they actually call them, a baton, but the name for, that they have, they go, they pop them out, but they're short. You know what it is. And he just kind of taps you on the ear as if to get you to step away. I'm picturing you, he's approaching you from behind, unbeknownst. The door didn't open. And so you're crouched down trying to talk to Blythe. and sort of gently taps you on the ear so as to have access to Blythe here. What do you do?
He just like I can't say I expected that. And he'll, push himself up to the best of his ability, and it takes a little bit. And he'll turn around. Mr. Tingley, we were about to head out to group.
That's good. It didn't take you guys long at all this time. Something's going on. He just kind of looks down at Blythe, taking his attention away from you, Dr. Kennedy, and said, "That was fun. Did you enjoy that as much as I did?"
She just stares at him and her cheeks get real red and hot. She doesn't say anything though.
Outside, Tingley is ushering everybody around. You threw the thing at him. He doesn't come after you. In fact, the expression on his face changes a little bit. Like, as if he's figured something out. And he just doesn't say anything at all. In fact, he kind of looks at you, Jerry, and says, "Get the group."
But I want to watch the Super Bowl.
Roll to endure injury.
Damn it, Jerry.
You're gonna knock me out before group?
I am. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's beautiful. He's going to come at you scary fast. All of you who, if anybody is stopped snogging and paying attention, or anybody else who's in the room, all of the people who are googling this whole thing, it just gets better and better by the minute, because he like flash speed across the room and is on you. And why don't you tell me what he does? What does he do to you? I'm gonna throw a whammy just to see how you do.
I can see him just a blur, and then just the still frame of his fist in my gut and me doubled over.
He does that, but that's not really worthy of a 9. So it hurts a lot. You get to take a damage, just 1, because it's a gut shot. But because you were on a drug bender all weekend, well, for however long it was, the weekend was the first thing that popped into my head. It wasn't a weekend, and you shit yourself, Jerry.
Beautiful. It's not a full calendar
Oh, you
year if I
done-
don't shit myself at least twice.
You done messed up your peephole.
Done boobled the
Sorry, it's just what came to mind. I like it, and so yeah, he's on you, and that's, to get his point across. He doesn't like tear into you, and he can't make a huge scene, right? So he just flies in fast. That was the part that was meant to make a point. The punch was just for everybody else.
So his whole intention was making me shit my pants.
Well,
Okay. Cool.
that was the 9.
Understood.
God. So much for group therapy.
What about, I'm going to get you to group therapy.
I doubt it.
Come hell or high water. What's
I don't think that happening tonight anyway.
what's Harvey and Sasha doing?
Let's go. My hooks depend on it. I mean, I don't know if this is enough to distract.
Okay.
Honestly.
I don't think it is. I really don't think that it is.
No,
Nope.
I don't give a fuck about anything or anyone else right now.
All right. Then
Me
Unless someone
neither.
specifically comes and like grabs us.
yeah, this is how Curtis gets the
Oh, I
win
wish
tonight.
a motherfucker would.
Which is exactly what happens. Because you're not paying attention, Tingley, one of them, well, both of them are sorting this out, and you guys get like grabbed, and basically he just pulls you apart. However you are, he does that. When you go to punch him in the nose, Sasha, as I know you're ready to do, as just sort of this instinctive habit, because how dare he, right? Break this moment is the same time that everybody gets touched. And you are all now sitting in ring, in group. It's just you and a small handful of other people. 3 of them are in orange jumpsuits. One of them is an old guy. One of the ones in the orange jumpsuits. Blythe, go ahead and make me a repressed memory roll. Just because I can't help myself. I have no self-control.
Do I have my pants back?
Yes,
Oh, okay, good.
but you have that confusion too.
Is it weird to us that we were just transported? Like, is it obvious?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
my pants still filled with shit?
Yes.
Where
Excellent.
would I find a repressed
Excellent.
memory? Is that just a +0?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, just a +0.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's a disadvantage. So only the regular player moves are ever going to be, unless something odd is happening. A 9. Okay. No, you. Then you're not going to see who it is. I'm gonna give you an itch that you think you might know who this is, but it isn't. He's old, gray, shaggy beard, kind eyes, but he's one of the 3 that's in an orange jumpsuit.